Who am I to write an autobiography? I'm not famous and I don't want to be famous. Despite some friends suggesting that I looked or behaved a bit like Bill Nye or Hugh Laurie, I've never been a celebrity, big or even small. I did come from a very privileged background, largely made up of men. Now I only have girls in my life, 4 daughters and 2 granddaughters, and not a son in sight. Our animals are girls too. I live in Spain. The rest of my family live in England. So back to the point, why did I first write this book? Back in 2018, and then publish a second edition now. The answer to the first question is easy. I decided to write my autobiography out of some desperation, as I'd originally planned to link up hundreds of blogs which I'd written in earlier years. But that was an abject disaster. So with 2018 half gone, I wrote about my life in From Acorns instead. This wasn't the original plan, but it occurred to me as I got into writing it that all of my rather diverse experiences, some sad, some funny, some bizarre, might help somebody else somewhere to avoid some of the poo traps I have fallen into over what is really now quite a long life. So I warmed to the subject. Without a major rewrite from my wonderful editor, Holly Dawson, the book would have been an abject disaster. Holly spared it from that fate, and mostly people were kind about my first book. The soft landing which Acorns was greeted with gave me the confidence to write 2 more books, both of which I published this year. The first was Lift Off, my business autobiography written to help entrepreneurs to make more money and to have more fun doing it. I then could not resist writing Plague of Madness, which is a one-man lament for the horrors of the worldwide mishandling of COVID. Both of these books have been published in the last 2 months. Meantime, 3 years after writing From Acorns, many other situations from my life have tortured me into including them in a second edition. So I finally succumbed to the temptation to do so, and here they are, available from next week in the second edition of From Acorns. I think the book's matured. I'd love to know what you think and if you agree with that. So with those 3 autobiographies out of the way, personal, business, and political, I can now get on with the other books on my desk. The first of which is A Year in Andalusia, about the major changes in our lives in my 70th year. And then after that, I'm on with a series of 5 thrillers, starting with The Pilot. These are the stories of Colonel Jim Grant, retired and living in Italy. Jim's glittering career in the SAS was cut short far too early, following a series of unfortunate experiences which deprived him of the soldier's life which he loved. Living in Florence, now in a new relationship, Italian life passes quietly until the pilot comes along. Thank you for listening and watching this short video.